It's a little bit problematic. I can't hear anything, so I don't know what the music's doing. Oh, the music's on. Yay! Hey, look at that. Oh. My earphones were not working. All right, guys, shut up. Hello, everyone. Oh, I think I'm connected on Bluetooth. So you're getting me twice. Hold on. No, I'm hearing myself twice, actually. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Sorry to confuse you. Hi. Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. Welcome in, folks. Happy to be with you. Happy to see you. I see Fola starting us off with 10 memberships. So I guess that's another applause. Thank you. For the last couple claps. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you. Appreciate everyone who is in here for the notification gang. We got a lot of stuff to go over, my friends. God, geez. Okay, so I was going to go live today to cover the monthly report with you guys, but CIG, as they do, they got other things. They've got other plans. They dropped a patch report, inside Star Citizen-ish kind of video. So we're going to go over that first, and then we're going to touch on basically all of the development that went into Star Citizen in April. This is, there's lore in here, there's AI, there is social tools, there's heavy armor. Hell, there's even Reco Pataglia. Mission givers are coming back, folks. So we're going to cover this, as we always do. Plenty of ship news as well. You know how we do there. We're going to go through all the ships in a separate segment with our ship tracking ship sheet. And hopefully it's a good time. Welcome to the special Thursday. And thanks for coming if you're here. Sorry if you're not. I hope you don't lose a streak or anything, anybody. But first, before we get started, let's celebrate a little bit of Fola energy. Fola with the tenor. And I got to find a way to erase this. Just really bad at erasing things. This is what happens when you shuck technology, you know? Thank you very much. Mormon energy, got to go with the whiteboard instead of the display anonymous. I love you, Anonymous. You're funny. Literally just went and waited until I erased your name and then put the... what a homie. Cheers to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for keeping the stream going. I'll put you back up there. Got angry about it. Said, nah, don't take me down. Thank you, Anon. Certainly not Q. How are you guys doing today? How's everybody's day going? Any special Thursdays? We don't usually talk on Thursdays, so I assume this is your good day of the week. Getting out a little bit, seeing the world, letting some grass touch you. Not inappropriately, just like little pokes on the ankle and stuff. Getting any gaming in? It's like almost time for 4.8, so it's time to get all your ships all figured out and get your, I would say, get your crafted stuff dismantled, I think, possibly. I don't know, dude. I have no idea what's going to happen to crafted stuff when the patch changes over. I've heard that it's going to be everything gets set back to neutral. I can't remember if that was official. Anybody know? I could probably put a little bit of a megaphone behind that, because I don't know what to tell people to do in preparation for this patch changeover. Yo, Pedro, thank you for the sub in Twitch. I'm sorry I missed you. The Prime sub. Much love, dude. I hope you're having a good day, a good week, a good life. And Mr. Space Marine, as always, I appreciate you, dude. Thank you for 31 months. That's an air horn kind of sub. 31 months supporting the stream. Thank you. And thank you also for shooting out to help for the computer problems earlier this year. It's not my birthday. Who said it's my birthday? I don't know where that comes from. I see Abdi in the chat though as well. We got good energy in the chat today. Hello, my man. How are you? Work? You have to train people in an hour? That's hot. Oh my God, that's hot tea. I'm gonna make probably the ill. Yeah, this is a little risky. Hold on. I don't know if you guys can see over here. I got a table right here. Yeah. So that's my laptop here. And I just put my teacup like right next to it with the top off to let it cool down. And I realized that's going to end up screwing me over sometime in the next 20 minutes. So I just made them a little further apart. Probably will still screw me over. Let's see. Hello, Colmar Fane. Good to see you. Thanks for the hard work and awesome work as always. Thank you. Thank you for coming to join us. Stop with the happy birthdays in chat. Somebody's going to get the wrong idea. I do like the butt emote, though. Have you guys noticed the new booty emote we got in there on Twitch? We got a booty emote, and we got a tomato drinking milk emote because you weirdos like milk so much. I like milk if it's in my hot chocolate. Thank you. All right, let's look at this patch report, and then we will settle on down into a nice cozy moment for the monthly report. All right, so CIG is releasing Alpha 4.8 next week. We've got a lot of ships. We got the Pitbull, the Ironclad, the M8, the other Ironclad, the Tiburon. There's a lot of stuff coming, and there's a lot of good features. So we're going to do this little patch report here. Check out the last bits of what they have to say about this update that they haven't told us. We might also get a patch watch on Spectrum, but this is probably the last big key details, and hopefully some interesting surprises here for the update next week.
May is known for combat in the Star Citizen universe, or at the very least, celebrating the various combat vehicles that defend, destroy, or otherwise dominate the more adversarial aspects of life in the PU. And this year, we bring that to the forefront like never before with next week's publish of Alpha 4.8.
The freaking flames in the background must feel great. I might steal that
And
for
the
this stream.
long-awaited Tactical Strike Group's release. With Tactical Strike Groups, you and a select cadre of companions can pull together a small collection of ships designed to overcome a variety of mission objectives and achieve ultimate victory in our first dedicated teamwork-designed, spaceship-based PvE combat release.
Once you get these fighters off us, I'll fill you in on the situation.
Here, you'll
That right there is the most communication you're going to get.
come to the aid of a valiant People's Alliance Idris that is locked in mortal combat with the Vanduul tech thieves calling themselves the Shattered Blade. You know, those same ones that you've been unknowingly chasing since you braved the Tempest and Stormbreaker about this time last year. They've taken hostages and holed up in a previously abandoned and
So the regen crisis is turning into this, right? We followed the regen crisis to Dr. Yorit. We took the trail from Dr. Yorit, led us into Nyx, right, where we found Shattered Blade was smuggling the stuff in. I'm not exactly sure how that connects us to the Rock Cracker facilities, if those are involved in the story or if that's standalone. I haven't even thought about that connection. Rock Cracker is from a different group, right? That's coming from Shubin, I think. So that's a different thing. This, though, it sounds like is coming from Intersect. So this is like, is this still part of the Regen Crisis story, technically? Did he say it?
pull together a small collection of ships designed to overcome a variety of missions. And
Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me go back.
With Tactical Strike Groups, you and a select cadre of companions can pull together a small collection of ships designed to overcome a variety of mission objectives and achieve ultimate victory in our first dedicated teamwork-designed, spaceship-based PvE combat release.
Once you get these fighters off us, I'll fill you in on the situation.
Here, you'll come to the aid of a valiant People's Alliance Idris.
People's Alliance. Okay, so we are branching off from the Regen Crisis story. This is no longer Intersect versus Shattered Blade. This is now People's Alliance versus Shattered. Was Intersect ever fighting Shattered Blade? God, now I'm getting myself confused. When we first got into the system, we were fighting on behalf of Intersect. Yeah. So we're now kind of just changing different factions solely transforming the story into something a little
and is
wider.
locked in mortal combat with the Vanduul tech thieves calling themselves the Shattered Blade. You know,
Did they show the M80?
same ones that you've been unknowingly chasing since you braved the Tempest and Stormbreaker about this time last year. They've taken hostages and holed up in a previous
Intersect is helping us. Oh, okay. They're contracting us to fight for People's Alliance. Okay, so it is still part of the same group of conflicts.
abandoned and newly fortified extraction station. The mission: take out their forces, disable or survive the turrets,
Good hit. Nice work.
fly inside and bring down the power, and then board the station and recover the hostage. Or, you know, extract them, because it used to be an extraction station. See?
To confirm, you don't actually extract the NPCs. They get into ships and fly away. I that's what I was told when we were playing. I didn't get into the hangar, but when we were in the group, they were saying that you don't actually pick up the NPCs. It is not the Trojan horse of passenger transport, unfortunately.
And of course, if you've already been testing on PTU or watching others on Twitch and YouTube, you know your troubles don't end there, because the
God, it's
massive
beautiful.
Vanduul Mauler is tired of these guys.
Bro, that looks sick.
You know your troubles don't end there, because the massive Vanduul Mauler is tired of
They really need to get the if there's anything else that I would not want to see or would want to see with these large Vanduul ships coming out of Quantum, it's like something reminiscent of the Witch Space sound in Elite Dangerous when the massive carriers come out of Witch Space and it's just like
massive Vanduul Mauler is tired of these
I want
guys
that.
and don't seem to care which humans are which. So bug out or stand your ground if you
Ooh.
can. The choice is up to you.
It's got a little laser boy.
Is the most exciting step yet in realizing the fullest potential
Can anybody say Beam Citizen? Even the Vanduul are on
of
board.
Star Citizen's breadth of flyable combat ships. And like sandbox
Beam
content
Citizen.
such as Align and Mine, operations like Onyx Facilities and Rockcracker, events like Race for Stanton, or even Pyro's Contested Zones, Tactical Strike Groups is not a one-time release, but a new benchmark in the kinds of feature content that we can continue to build on for subsequent patches as we continue building out our universe on this journey to 1.0 and beyond.
It's not going to matter how many times you say it, Jared. There will still be... I don't think we've still gotten that quite clear through the whole community. I still remember, I think, at least as recently as January, telling people still arguing that these things don't matter because you can't play them right now, and that ruins it, even though they're supposed to be around for a long time. I still remember somebody last year told me all of these things that they add, that he just listed, should be considered events because within 6 months of them being put into the game, CIG is working on something else. Therefore, they're not the focus anymore. And I just don't understand how anybody that's thinking that way is thinking about this being a full game being built. They can't just not, I don't know. It's funny that they have to keep mentioning that, though, and making it clear.
Alongside this new content is a new feature that looks to change overall fleet gameplay in new and interesting ways, and that's the addition of ship hangar services,
You're right, Racer Stanton was probably not a good example for him
where
to name.
select ships in 4.8 will be able to offer repairs, refueling, and rearming to any ship that lands in its bays, provided, of course, that they have the requisite stock sitting aboard.
That does mean that you don't have to physically load the stuff onto the ship, but that's not going to be... that's not going away for good. I haven't tested this, but I'm sure you can still physically load and unload the stuff.
Bays, provided, of course, that they have the requisite stock sitting aboard. Now, it's great for...
Video's frozen? Did the stream freeze? Where did it freeze?
Toes.
I don't know why it froze. That's not good. And I have no idea where it froze. That's even worse. Oh well. Sounds like we'll have
Of
to
course,
edit.
that they have the requisite stock sitting aboard. Now, it's great for obvious ships like the Idris and the Polaris, but it's also coming to the Carrack, the Starlancer attack, and fancy ships like the 600i and 890J.
What? They did something with the 600i? Oh, God, good for you, CIG.
Of course, I'm not suggesting you bring your 890 jump into combat situations, but you could. And if you're like me, you would.
I mean, everything's got forward-facing guns.
Refueling, new refueling missions are arriving in Alpha 4.8, designed to help aspiring Good Samaritans begin their careers of helpful service to others. Now, when NPCs take their eye off the gauge...
Okay, I have not seen this UI yet because we couldn't get this, well, I mean, you have to have a Starfare. The UI has been simplified from what people were saying. This actually looks a little more complicated to me, but it's probably just because I haven't seen it before. But I've seen a lot of complaints that they simplified it too much, like the actual process of refueling. And that's a huge bummer if so. I hope that that is just something that's temporary with this first reiteration they did. And we see this be a more full-fledged game loop for people.
NPCs take their eye off the gauge, you have new opportunities to get them on their way once more. This is super useful for a ship like the Starfare, as well as this cute, adorable little guy you might recognize from its recent reveal on social media. You keep expecting the eyes to pop out like a Pixar car.
It really does look a lot like the Odyssey to me. More than the Starlancer. Let's see, the Misk Odyssey, in my opinion, that was the first Misk ship that I saw, and I was like, ooh, okay, maybe Misk ships are pretty nice. Like this look? That's not a good shot. It's like that I guess that's also in the Starlancer, huh? That like dual tone kind of Godurtherchin toes. I like the look of it. I like the look of it, but I wish I mean it's a weird situation they put themselves in by releasing the Starfarer first because it's such a gigantic ship. It makes sense to release a smaller one for people who to be able to actually try it. Nobody wants to do all of the work in Star Citizen to earn a Starfarer only to then do refueling gameplay, which isn't fun. So they needed a smaller ship for it, but this one is a bit it's a bit rough. Releasing a brand new ship like this for the gameplay when the other ship that's supposed to use the gameplay is not as great as it always feels a little rough to me, but we'll see how this thing performs. At least refueling is a thing now.
Now, from new ships to one of our oldest, the Drake Caterpillar is finally getting its fabled command module functionality in the upcoming Alpha 4.8. With this, you can leave your ship planetside and scout around while others unload, abandon unruly crewmates for their poor behavior, or smile as you discover a loophole in Drake's no escape pod mantra and live to fight another day.
Bro, what? Come on. Anybody see this situation actually playing out like this? Anybody who wants to attack your ship to blow it up is definitely going to blow up the escape pod. We're not kind people.
To fight.
Or they would steal the cargo and then like, yeah, I don't know. I think it makes sense as an escape pod, less inside of combat and more like when you realize you need to get away from the ship. Still, this is a pretty cool addition to the ships.
It's also worth noting this command module is coming to 2 other vehicles launching in next week's patch. I wonder what those could be.
Ooh.
There's a host of new FPS items, including new plasma grenades for blowing things up, new G-force resistant flight, new plasma grenades for blowing things up.
What in the bro? Oh my god. I'm not letting anybody on my ship with one of these. Are you kidding me? Look at how big that... That's insane.
G-force-resistant flight suits that daring pilots may want to consider over flying in bulkier armors all the time.
Dude, the Pitbull is tiny. Look at that thing. That's like the size of a car.
That daring pilots may want to consider over flying in bulkier armors all the time. And then the main event, the Novia crossbow. Now
Yo, where's my man Lurch? Let's go! Brothers, we held the line. The crossbow is here. We got it. Star Citizen's done. Launch it, Chris. 1.0 is
put a
ready.
pin in bad folks, good folks, and anyone that just annoys you in style with this retro-inspired, futuristic death dealer. And then, of course, there's our co-main event. A big ship combat release like Tactical Strike Groups may highlight a few gaps in your fleet. Well, DefenseCon is here to fill your holes.
Jared. This is the kind of language we get when they switch from Invictus Week to DefenseCon. There's no censors for Drake. But, geez, that's a...
After Invictus went home to Saul, DefenseCon is stepping up.
These freaking signs are just like, Drake, yeah. That's it. Just big banner. Drake, yeah, dude.
After Invictus went home to Saul, DefenseCon is stepping up to celebrate the everyday heroes who truly make the universe.
Oh. Did I just peek a little extra ship there?
Stepping up to celebrate the everyday heroes.
M80? Just a little bit. Oh. Just a teensy bit over there. I'm sure we'll see more of it.
Truly make the universe a better
they brought back
and safer place. And maybe without the stuffy heavy-handedness of the UEE Navy. That means fire and attitude as DefenseCon presents the latest in combat spec. And since we're in the middle of DefenseCon Reveal Week on social media, let's take a look at some of the ships on offer during this year's event.
It is feeling quite Drake. Ooh! That looks way better with the wings folded out.
Common sense, perhaps.
Wait, I really liked that. I like that. It looks way better with the wings down. It's like a just a fucking thruster with the actual literal cockpit on it. There's nothing else here. It's like half of this ship is a thruster. You probably got some space for components, and then this guy's sitting here. That's crazy. That's gonna be a fun ship to fly around.
Drake Pitbull, with more guns than common sense, perhaps. The Origin M80, proving that looks can kill.
This one just, the M80 just really, I don't know, it kind of confuses me. If you showed this ship to me, I wouldn't think it was Origin, like just flying around, especially with the orange highlights. It's a beautiful ship. It's just, it feels radical for Origin. Certainly looks cool. I'm not sure about the back, to be quite honest. I kind of agree with the folks who say that it feels a little bit more Kruger. I don't know. I need to see more of this one. It's kind of interesting because I'm a bigger Origin fan than a Drake fan, but the Pitbull jumps out to me more than this one does. Again, great looking ship. I just, I don't know how Origin it feels.
Proving that looks can kill. The Miss Starlight saying, not all heroes blow things up.
This definitely looks missed.
Tiburon, which
whoa! Dude.
Not all heroes blow things up.
Well, that's different. That's not a Hammerhead variant at all, is it?
Tiburon, which, I'm just gonna say it, it's a shark with a frickin' laser beam on its head.
What is that ship? Wait, show me more.
What? Frickin' laser beam on its head.
This week is gonna be crazy.
And then, of course, the Fatter-Pillar.
Ooh.
And the Iron Shad Assault from Drake.
Dude, this is crazy! There's too many ships! Oh my God.
And the Iron Shad Assault from Drake. The latter of which is getting the same hangar services we discussed before, and all things working out like they should. Both will be coming to PTU on Monday, May 11th, for existing owners to fly first.
Oy. Dude. Oh, this is a lot of ships, man. I don't even know what's going to end up being the thing everybody's looking at next week. I guess probably the Ironclad. This thing is crazy, though. It's huge. The animations are looking nice. The fact that you can fit this many ships into it, and it gets to repair and refuel them It's basically, they're just confirming this thing is now a smaller Kraken. The fact that the Ironclad is getting hangar services and you can put ships inside the Ironclad and it opens from the top. The things people are going to use these ships for. Holy crap. And yeah, this thing coming to PTU is going to boost the interest in that. That's probably why they're putting these in the PTU instead of doing the whole straight to live like they have been this week. This is going to boost so much hype next week.
The latter, which is getting the same hangar services we discussed before, and all things working out like they should.
There are a lot of freaking guns on here. You got a quad 4 turret on the front here, another one right here. Looks like 2 double turrets here. I don't know what size they are, probably 2s. One bigger one up here. That's probably bigger caliber. And it looks like there's another one on the side over here that's firing. I think I'm seeing a PDC here. I can't tell. So there might also be PDCs along the freaking ship that you're not seeing.
They should.
Might not be.
Both will be coming to PTU on Monday.
Please tell me these are missile launch tubes. That would be the best thing ever. If these opened up and missiles came out of them, I would buy this ship. No, I wouldn't. But I would say I would.
Coming to PTU on Monday, May 11th, for existing owners to fly first. Yay!
That's crazy.
Of course, there's one
they
more
do
ship
missiles come out of it.
Concept debut at DefenseCon this year, and that's the Anvil Odin battlecruiser. Now, not much has been revealed at this point beyond, yes, it really is twice the size of the Javelin. But you can get 3 different first glimpses of it tomorrow, May 8th, in the weekly newsletter, social media, and even in the PTU if you know where to look.
What? Oh,
DefenseCon
probably
really
like a
is
hollow
holding nothing
table.
back this year, unlike those stuffy UEE folks. Did I do it right?
What was he doing?
No, that's
Oh,
backwards.
Drake.
Nope, that's backwards again.
D for
Oh my
Drake.
God.
Filling your
That's a D.
holes.
That's a D, right?
D for
So
life.
it's easy to see that there's a lot going on in 4.8. And like 4.7 before it, this also extends to the weeks after release, with additional Defend location missions coming in 4.81, some Alien Week festivities in 4.82, and if you haven't heard, the return of Xenothreat in 4.83.
Okay, so it becomes those kind of things make it easier to start understanding how they're doing these roadmap rollouts. We had 2 patches to figure it out, but this kind of confirms it. Basically, if they've gotten to the point where they're doing a roadmap roundup and they're not confirming something, say 1 to 2 weeks before it comes out, well, this isn't confirmed. They just said this is going to be in the patch and it's still tentative. Because like these other things, for instance, this Defend mission, that's coming in 4.81, as he mentioned. They haven't put the 4.82 or 8.3 stuff on here. I don't think Xenothreat is in here either. So we still got more stuff to add to the 4.8 column in terms of the roadmap, but helps us know, like, a lot of the times the stuff that's on there is not going to come to a later patch. But we kind of knew that.
These guys just really don't care for those pro-alien celebrations. All in all, next week's patch is chock full of content that'll carry us through to 4.9 in July, all led by TSG and DefenseCon. And in that new DefenseCon spirit of sharing things early, let's carry that over and talk about the rest of 2026 for a bit. Now, throughout the remainder of this year, we intend to deliver the
It's never a good idea.
newly reworked and fully instanced debut of Siege of Orison, the new Genesis-built planets of the Nyx system, Starware and Starchitect goodness, the enormous multi-staged instance Municipal Works operation, a whole bunch of new ships and vehicles and additional gameplay features and quality of life improvements. There's an Apex $7 car that can literally pop its head out at any moment, and of course, as if anybody could forget, Squadron 42. There's a lot we got going on for the remainder of this year, and for that reason, we've made the decision not to host a CitizenCon event for 2026, either in person, digital, direct, or otherwise. It's a decision born out of how important these 2 games are to everyone on both sides of these projects. And while we'll certainly miss getting to meet so many of you
It's a decision born out of, like, we need to freaking release Squadron.
at once, we do encourage you to check out the Bar Citizen World Tour that's well underway, because we always enjoy every opportunity we get to meet you and hear your stories. For instance, I'm going to Amsterdam in a couple weeks. Come find me and tell me how your TSG. For instance, I'm going to Amsterdam in a couple weeks. Come find me and tell me how your TSG experiences went. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. As always, thank you for letting us share the people and process of game development with you. And we'll see you here next week at DefenseCon.
So I just want to go back real quick to the list that he named there.
It's a decision born either in person
To what the stuff's coming this year, because most of that was in CitizenCon last year.
Talk about the rest of 2026 fully instanced debut. Now, throughout the remainder of this year, we intend to deliver the newly reworked and fully instanced debut of Siege of Origin, the new Genesis-built planets of the Nyx system.
So that's Nyx 1, 2, and 3. That's a pretty big one. Siege of Orison is my favorite thing. I was really looking forward to that. Glad they're still planning on it.
Starware and
These are Starware is expected. That's kind of the thing that I feel like they're already starting with the Starware kind of stuff with the way that they're building in the stats. I know stats were already existent, but the general idea of Starware that they have is cloths and like clothes and armor together. So that's its own thing, but I'm glad that's still coming.
The enormous
Architect, yeah.
multi-staged instance municipal works operation, a whole
Yeah,
bunch of
that's
new
expected.
ships and vehicles and additional
Ships,
gameplay
yeah.
features and quality of life
Obviously.
improvements. There's an Apex $7 car that can literally pop its head out at any moment. And of
been in the
course,
monthly
as
report.
anybody can forget, Squadron 42. There's
Squad
a
42.
lot we got going on for the remainder of this year.
It's kind of crazy that the thing that they were teasing for like, what, 2 or 3, 4, 5 months straight in their loading screens is nowhere to be mentioned. I don't know if it was supposed to be social tools or data running or whatever it was, but that's one of the most confusing things I've seen them do in terms of their latest version of marketing. It's like they just brought that up. They told us about it very clearly and very obviously for multiple months, and then they just kind of dropped it and haven't said anything about it. And there's no sign of it being related to anything that's coming into the game. So I don't know. No social tools kind of sucks, man. I don't know what's gonna happen there, but maybe we'll hear something about it in the monthly report. So that is a look at 4.8, which, guys, is kind of insane. Honestly, the features, I would genuinely be disturbed by how many ships were coming in this patch if there weren't so many good features also. I think that's what kind of saves them. It's like they clearly are trying to boost Invictus Week. They want to make the money. And you know what? They're probably going to. Let's clock it right here. It is May 7th. They have currently made about $40 million this year. In the month of May, they have made 1.5 million, let's say 1.6 million, and they have added 10.5 thousand people. Let's see what that looks like in 2 weeks. Let's see if it's all the way up here. If they can make it to around 70 million, it'll be their best May ever. I'm not saying I'm rooting for it, but with the amount of ships that they just said they're going to drop, I think it's possible. If this is a smooth release, if this releases well, there is enough stuff in this patch, from ships to features to progression with the crafting stuff, all that I think this is going to be a pretty successful month for them. As long as they don't mess it up with their Odin release. 31 million would make 1 billion total made. What do you guys think? You think they're going to pass 1 billion this month? Let's see, I think I got to... Nope, that's not the one I wanted. Dang it. I don't think I have a... Yeah. 31 million. They'll hit 1 billion. That's going to come... Those stories are going to be coming out right when they're releasing the Odin thing for probably like $4,000 or $5,000 is going to be a freaking JPEG. That's going to get a whole bunch of attention, but also the real ships that are coming out at the same time. Tiburon, the M80, and all these other choices, I think, are going to also capture attention. And if they manage to announce Squadron 42 on top of all of this, like end of May, the train's off, dude. But we'll see. We'll see if they can pull it off. Either way, that's your last look at 4.8. Now give 4.9 CIG. Let's take a look at the monthly report. Wherever the heck that is. I think I lost it. If they don't, you will personally buy a pit bull to go with your assault. If they don't hit 1 billion. I think there's no way it is going to release smooth. So many features, new massive mission, a free fly mode, and massive amount of new ships. There will be problems. Well, we got to be very specific, Latch. Are we talking Star Citizen smooth or general smooth? You don't see this as confirmation of social tools not coming this year necessarily? I don't see it as confirmation of that. I just wish that it would have been mentioned. You guys are thinking, yeah, they're going to hit 1 billion this month, maybe next month. You doing the Twitch drop thing on the 14th? There's a Twitch drop thing on the fucking hell. Man, that's just not good timing, is it? I didn't know there was a Twitch drop thing on the 14th. Oh, I thought they might do another promotion. That is the most awkward timing. Oh boy. Twitch drops are back. It was a huge success for the game last time in terms of bringing people in to watch more of the game. And as we've gone over a lot, the most powerful marketing these days is getting something in front of people's eyes. So, what can you get for watching Twitch Star Citizen next week on the 14th? I'm guessing this. Twitch drops are back for DefenseCon 2956 from May 14th through May 27th. Watch any drops enabled Star Citizen stream for a total of 4 hours to unlock the Tailwind Murray Cup flight suit and helmet for free. To be clear, okay, because this is what it was last time, you do not have to watch a single stream for 4 hours. You just have to watch a total of 4 hours over the course of these 2 weeks. So there's plenty of time to get in on this. You'll probably naturally earn it if you already go and watch Twitch. So don't stress out about it. This is likely the suit you're going to get. And again, this is really just focused on getting people who are maybe ever so slightly interested in Star Citizen, but don't generally come and watch it. They just kind of know about it, right? You got an active account. Maybe you played it a couple years ago. You're kind of sitting on it, waiting for it to sound good. This is them trying to get people to come back in and check and see if it's good enough. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But by encouraging people to actually look, they're probably going to get a higher player count over the summer because of it. So I think it's probably a good call. It also helps to get eyes on the game. If they've got a big announcement coming up in the next couple weeks, this would be great to keep people actively watching for it every day of that time. So strategically timed, I'm thinking we're probably going to see something like this for every Invictus or IAE from now on. So next one will probably be November, but there's your little announcement. Twitch drops coming back to Star Citizen. They love their Twitch. That's not a Tailwind suit shown. Well, I do not know. This is the Murray Cup suit, but it's not the Tailwind suit. So your guess is as good as mine. Maybe it's a Tailwind suit that will have this livery on it and they just haven't finished the Tailwind version of it. I don't know, but this is what you will be unlocking. Save it for Summer Games Fest season. Well, that's what it is. Right. Think about it. If they use Invictus Week to announce Squadron 42 for us, that gives us enough time to start building up our content, our coverage, our hype. It gets us doing our Reddit threads and, you know, starting to talk to our friends. Then they let that build for about a week and then drop the big news to the rest of the world at Summer Games Fest the first week of June. Then you can ride multiple weeks of hype. It's already in the PTU? Oh. So then I wonder why they didn't have it up on here. All right. Monthly report time now. Let me just double check on my files. Make sure they actually recorded correctly. What is the most exciting ship coming next week? And why is it the Tiburon? I don't know why I'm interested in the Tiburon. That is not my kind of ship. What the? Oh, God dang it. It's because it's provocative. Are you going to be part of the Twitch drops? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll be jumping on there. If you can only have one of these, which would you want? Ironclad or Ironclad Assault? I would choose, well, the Ironclad Assault's looking more interesting now that I know it can refuel and repair stuff. That's pretty cool. Basically a ship carrier now. The Assault? Okay, that's fair. The Assault's going to be able to pew-pew quite a bit. Okay, we do have to check and make sure they haven't, like, dropped any teasers now. Did they show it in this video? They do ads for Inside Star Citizen now? They're going hard. All right, no pictures, though. They didn't drop any actual teasers of the ships. Monthly report time. Let's go. In about an hour, they will drop another teaser. We'll keep a lookout. For now, my friends, it is time. The April monthly report is here. We are... Oh, this is Twitch drops. I don't... Sorry, just ruined my whole intro. Once again, it is time. The April monthly report is here. We're leading up to the biggest patch in Star Citizen's history, potentially. DefenseCon's coming up with a whole bunch of new ships. We've got social tools talk. We've got heavy armor talk. We got lore talk. Valacar. All kinds of stuff is getting covered in this month's monthly report. So as always, I'm going to take you through all the features and stuff in one go. And then we're going to return to all of the ship updates and jump in with our ship tracking ship sheet. Wait, let me pull that up. You do still exist, right? Yo, shipping sheet. Here we go. We're going to jump in with this and we'll cover all of the ships afterwards. So if you are here with us live, thank you so much for joining me. This is a weird one. We're doing it on Thursday. Sorry to catch you off guard, but generally it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. If you want to come and join us, deep dives, analysis, some gameplay, what the best ways to die in Star Citizen are, and why it's called Forgetting Your Helmet. If you're looking for some good fun, come join us. Let's jump in though. AI content's kicking us off in April. They saw the narrative design team introduce tactical strike groups. These content drops incorporate new chapters and a staged mission progression, which presented several unique challenges, such as ensuring the comm notification triggered correctly. Narrative design worked alongside mission design to get everything functioning and are eager for the community to start experiencing it. I think we're going to hear a lot about tactical strike groups during this report. It's like their big thing that's coming. I have not been impressed so far from seeing it in game, but I need to go through a whole run through and get a better idea of it. The team also supported a performance capture shoot to record content for several other upcoming content drops alongside general population dialogue and conversations. They also tackled bugs affecting social areas and comm notifications for Alpha 4.8. Sorry, just got to check on one more thing here. Sending some information. Sorry, guys. All right. AI features in tech. AI tech and features began April with various optimization tasks, including a refactor of the Hermite cubic spline implementation to achieve better performance. We all know a Hermite. A major performance offender was also fixed in the derived version of the original spline code used in cinematics. Work is currently underway to replace the current brute force arc linear integration with a more reliable set. The navigation octree in memory was further optimized too. This is what I'm usually used to reading in the R&D section. Don't confuse me like this in AI, please. Time was then dedicated to the flight AI, with the team working to improve air-to-ground combat. Interesting. For example, when targets are moving planetside, such as the player, a turret, or ground vehicles. NPC's gonna start shooting us on the ground? They also began improving other mechanics, such as making jousting faster and more intense, close distance strafing and direction changes were more prevalent, and providing better tactic selection and transitions. Fleeing and chasing are being improved too, alongside formation interceptions. For navlinks and the Pathfinder, the team upgraded NPCs traversing manual doors via control panels. Elevator and transit system improvements were also made alongside NPCs using airlock systems. I'm not going to get super deep into this, but we listened to this a lot last year. Some of you may remember them talking about navigation links. That's this kind of stuff. When an NPC gets to a door, an elevator, any sort of transition into another space, they have to navigate through these navigation links. And this kind of sounds like the polish on top of that. The devs then restructured melee data to be more modular. This will allow them to more easily reuse the spatial limits in multiple aspects of NPC melee behavior. Progress was made on the creature toolkit, including updates to how triggerable actions are handled. The juvenile Valacar was ported to use the AI motive pattern, while updates were made to damage tracking and how worms submerge and emerge. Wormy boys. Finally, for AI, bug fixes were made for NPC ships remaining in close proximity to the surface of central asteroids and failing to respond to player aggression. That mean I can trick them to run into asteroids more again? Animation. In animation, we saw progress with an upcoming creature, adding new actions and attacks alongside improving existing data. They're also working on a super heavy armor set that carries a large full auto weapon. A new creature is interesting. We have not gotten any specific names on creatures. Super heavy armor. We all have to wonder. Oh, not the Atlas suit. Wow, now I've forgotten the name of it. Titan suit. We all have to wonder if this is the super heavy armor. It's hard to know because they also still talked about it as the Titan exosuit at times. Last time it was referenced, it was in the Squadron 42 monthly report. Let's see. And I don't know what they called it at that time. Yeah, they called it the Titan still. So the fact that they're not calling it the Titan now is interesting. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not the same thing. They might want to have a little surprise for us. They might be calling it something different for the non-military version. I don't know. But super heavy armor is going to be limiting to you. It's the only way you can carry a certain type of weapon, but you also can't heal yourself. You move a lot slower. It should be, I think, more interesting than anything to fight enemies that are wearing this, because maybe it'll call for more strategy than just wait for them to stop complaining about their cousin and shoot them. Facial animation were on set for a 2-day shoot with motion capture and narrative teams. As part of this, they captured new content for Recco Battaglia, who will be returning to Levski with a new mission, and two supporting characters, Isaac Kepler, and Amir Lucas. Dude, that's really important. Not only are we getting mission givers back, which are automatically pointing to a more narrative set of missions where you can actually meet an NPC and talk to them and develop a relationship and feel some sort of connection to the person that's giving you your missions. But she's also going to have supporting characters, which means there are probably going to be some kind of branch where she sends us to go talk to someone else. giving us multiple actual named characters to care about, which doesn't sound like a crazy big thing for any game, but for Star Citizen, a game where the last person people cared about was a faceless voice on a radio in 2016, nice to get some of this. I also have a video for any of you guys who are supporters. It's just not loading. I'll just show you on my actual page. If you want to, and you are a supporter on Twitch, Patreon, or YouTube, I have a video about this somewhere. Here. Talks about the return of mission givers. And and it goes over what I think this is like the last step of a big arc they've been taking in trying to bring narrative back to the game. Started a while back with the people actually making video calls, extended a little bit further with Wicklow coming in and being somewhat of a transaction point. And I think the last step is really just to bring back in new NPCs like this. So if you're a supporter, you can go and watch that. If not, you can keep watching this. Yay! All right. New content was captured for NPCs around Nyx, expanding the voice packs players will hear in landing locations. Content was also closed out for Alpha 4.8, which includes 2 new characters for a new mission. I'm guessing that's not these 2 new characters. I'm guessing it's for the guy that calls us for the tactical strike groups. Art on the character side spent April developing a new armor set and in-game rewards. They also continued to support the Starware initiative and polished projects for 4.8. The concept art team explored a new gang and finalized handoff sheets for a new combat armor. Interesting. Moving on to art on the weapons side of things, the weapons team put the finishing touches on the new Castak Arms plasma grenade, preparing it for release and to blind everyone. They also completed a polish pass for the Ultiflex Novia crossbow, updating some of the geometry to align it with current weapon standards and ensure it lives up to expectations. One more look at those,
May
because
is known for combat.
The freaking grenade is so crazy to me.
And then the main event, the Novia crossbow. Now you can
Crossbow's
put a
pretty
pin
cool.
in bad folks, good folks, and anyone that just annoys you in style with this retro-inspired, futuristic death dealer. Yes, items
But this
including
grenade.
plasma grenades for blowing things up.
Look at that, dude. It fills the whole... That's definitely an area of effect grenade. Should be fun to play with. Okay. Art. Did we cover weapons? I think we just did, yeah. Let's move on to the rest of weapons, actually. Work also began on a new large caliber weapons set scheduled for later in the year, while material polish passes continued on numerous existing weapons. Don't forget we have a lever action railgun coming to the game later in the year. So still some fun stuff going on in the weapons front. On to core gameplay. The actual GOAT of Star Citizen monthly reports. And a pretty short section, unfortunately, for this month, so might not be as exciting as normal, but let's dive in. In April, core gameplay supported various initiatives and focused on bug fixing for Alpha 4.8. Core gameplay also worked on the last details of Ship Hangar Services T0, preparing it to go live in Alpha 4.8. And a list of bugs from the inventory rework was compiled from QA and the players, with the devs working to fix as many of the most critical ones as possible. Don't say they don't bug fix. Just maybe not the bugs we want. Let me take a seat. Boy. Okay. Let's not do that. For refueling, iterations were made to refine the gameplay experience, mechanics, and overall flow with the main goal of streamlining the feature. For that, core gameplay supported mission design and the delivery of a new mission, or new missions. Lastly, tasks for an NPC refueling beacon are underway, allowing players who get stranded to call for help. Anybody else been able to get that working yet? Are we getting the beacons actually functioning? The number one response to this so far I've seen is, I never run out of fuel. Better yet, has anybody been able to answer a beacon and refuel someone else? When do we get GoldenEye style proximity mines? Whenever they let us pull them off the walls. Mr. Vallis. Hello, sir. Doesn't look like anybody in chat has really experienced the refueling mechanics yet. We'll have to try that tomorrow. Again. Work on vehicle component crafting made progress, exposing a variety of new stats to the design team to modify it as part of the crafting flow. This is fantastic. This is, I think, a quiet part of what's happening with Alpha 4.8. Moving more crafting into the game is really big for the stuff that they're adding. Starware also progressed, with the team preparing for an internal demonstration showcasing the ability to customize characters using a variety of clothing and armor pieces. I'll give you a look at what Starware is. I know I confuse people a little bit by saying the stats are related, but in reality, Starware is mainly defined by this video.
Right combination for the right situation. Let's look at some of the possibilities that Starware will be able to provide you.
I love that they use the Chris mocap, the Chris dancing mocap. All right, the guy looks sick. This guy looks dope. I appreciate what he's wearing. Who doesn't like a trench coat? So this is actually a pretty big deal, being able to wear clothing and armor, mainly for the fashion citizens out there, but I do think it's going to give them more incentive to make clothing and armor actually make sense together more. We'll see, though. Still can't wear hats with an undersuit. Still can't wear most stuff with most things. Hopefully this fixes it. Mission design. April saw the missions team design fundamental changes to the contract system. We love to hear it. Contract system kind of sucks. The first that players will see is a limit on how many contracts they can have active at one time. Actually, I did see that in 4.8. While the first implementation will help fix exploits, it will not be the final or full version, which will be talked about in more detail at a later date. Interesting to just like limit the amount of missions you can take. I actually never thought about that. I don't think I've ever played a game where I just tried to take a ton of missions, but I guess some of their recent gameplay deliveries have incentivized people to just sign up to every possible mission they can, which is not the best way to build your game. The team also polished the defend location ship mission, balancing it ahead of its release, and further progressed with refueling missions. Both of those in the roadmap. Down here. Refueling missions and space combat missions. Both still tentative, though, interestingly. The FPS versions of defend locations, where players have a variety of competing objectives to complete in the harder difficulties, received feedback and are currently being polished. That's nice. I hope they can add these to new locations and not bunkers. Give me a space station to defend, or an asteroid facility, or a distribution center. Tactical strike groups is also being finalized to ensure it's working as intended and is fun to play. We're very excited for you to play this, the mission team said. Expected. That's the big thing next month. On the narrative side of things have been getting more interesting over the last few months. Let's see if there's anything here. Narrative began April by wrapping up content for Alpha 4.8. This involved handling several large-scale content drops, including tactical strike groups, mission text and content for the refueling missions, and introducing several new factions to support the new gameplay. You getting new factions? We got new factions in 4.8? I don't even know who it is. Development continued on the Starchitect tool to incorporate narrative needs into the projection of outposts and characters to ensure assets are created in line with the planet lore. I'm so freaking hyped for Starchitect. Please, please, please. POIs and missions. POIs and missions. Just make them different, make them interesting. I would love it. In an effort to get ahead, there were also initial conversations about initiatives later in the year to try and anticipate what kind of content could be captured sooner than later. Yeah, I like that. Factions that do nothing and have no actual gameplay needs around them still feel so hollow. I agree with you there, but honestly, I'm okay with that as long as the factions are getting in and the groundwork is there. I'm cool with like mission team and narrative coming in and making them better later, and hopefully reputation, but it's nice that we actually have some factions in the game and we're not just, oh, is it Ninetales? Or is it some Stanton security? Let's see which one this time. Online technology. In Montreal, the Live Tools team completed various improvements to the internal tools that keep Star Citizen's operations and development running smoothly. This is a huge segment this month. There was a major focus on Hex, the team's player investigation and support program. Hex actually drives our reputation. The team is currently working on a full visual and UX overhaul named Hex 4.0 that established a new design system to guide all future development. Moreover, the team are adding powerful new capabilities for support staff. The team then spent time stabilizing Panic Switch. Nonsense. Panic Switch, just one of the most stable people in our chat. Love you, bro. A recently launched tool for managing live service incidents, fixing editing bugs, improving the dashboard experience, and migrating configuration data. Regarding Bootstrap, the tool that helps developers run local environments, the team finished user research interviews and journey mapping. They're currently moving into the technical design phase for a full client revamp. Work also continued on error reporting, with the team improving crash report reliability and enriching the data captured with each report, including stream context, badge information, and severity levels. Alongside these improvements, the whole team contributed to ongoing maintenance across Hex, Bootstrap, and error reporting, resolving dozens of standalone bugs and smaller requests. The team also completed work to unblock the editor team by delivering key Jira integration features for error reporting. It's just workflow stuff. As spring is slowly dressing the trees, the Live Tools team says, the Live Tools team is positioned to continue driving meaningful improvements to the tools that support Star Citizen's development and live operations. Love good development in spring. Keep it up, guys. In April, the online services team completed work on lazy inventory creation and inventory ID enforcement. These make the game's items and inventory systems more reliable to players. The social features pipeline advanced with chat, actively in development alongside other features such as friends, online presence, and party viewer, all queued up as upcoming deliverables. Upcoming, but when? Upcoming, but when? This is the only thing that I'm going to be adamant about a when question on. Social tools have easily become the most needed thing in this game, in my opinion, in the last few months. Last 6 months. And I'm not even talking social tools like anything super crazy. I just mean like voice chat. You know, the thing Halo 2 launched with. As usual, the team continued to provide ongoing support for Mission System V1, addressing design requests around instanced operations, per cycle item limits, and contract advertisement behaviors in instanced environments. I'm excited to see what they do with this. I do think that Mission System V1, and as they've been saying lately, Starchitect are being developed in line with each other to kind of make sure that everything makes sense. Like right here, they said they want stuff to match the planet lore, the outposts and characters, all that kind of stuff. They're also hooking that into missions, so hopefully missions are very tied in with what we're doing at the places we go to, and there are a lot of places to go to. So that could be great for the game, the combination of these two systems, but it's still kind of a wait and see moment. Work on a global database sharding service was completed. This behind-the-scenes improvement is aimed at making the game's infrastructure more scalable as the player population grows. The team engaged closely with QA to build a new tracking dashboard for long-term persistence bugs, thus improving visibility and response speed for the live game. Early design and discovery work also began on the crafting and refining systems. Across all these efforts, OST remained focused on stability, player experience, and preparing the systems that will power Star Citizen in the future. Sorry, I just had a bit of a brain fart. Just trying to remember the specific names of each team. It's just tools team. Yeah, I don't think OST is what I think it is. The network team progressed with a system to manage how players persistent in-game data, such as inventory and progress, is updated and preserved across different versions and patches. This ensures that nothing is lost when the game evolves. Please God. The day that this becomes 100% reliable is the day I think you can start suggesting this game to more people. Because just losing stuff sucks. A significant round of improvements to server meshing was merged into the main game build. Ooh. These updates replace older components with newer, more capable versions that are better equipped to handle the demands of dynamically connected universe. That's... okay. Progress on server meshing is great. Don't know if we're going to notice it. But that might be the reason that we want to... that might be the reason for it. Or that might mean it's succeeding if we don't notice it. On the live game front, the team tracked down the causes of an out-of-memory crash affecting the replication layer's hybrid services. A hotfix was deployed and stability improved, though the team is keeping a close eye on the situation. Work is also ongoing to resolve a client disconnection error that some players have been experiencing. I see you, some players. Thanks for letting them know. Twitch drops paids went poof. Maybe Twitch canceled them. R&D. In April, further changes were made to the shader compile server to significantly improve robustness, latency, and throughput. As a follow-up, client-side communications with the remote shader compile server was also cleaned up and optimized. Anybody else ever go through these with me every month? I appreciate you. And hear about these optimizations and wonder what the game would look like without them? I find it very hard to hear about optimizations in these monthly reports and then go into the game and appreciate them, because it's just hard to know what it would be like without them. We still experience a game that feels relatively broken, so it's easy to be like, well, these optimizations aren't doing anything. But I always wonder just how far they go. Focus then shifted to further improving the rendering quality of gas clouds. Support for ray jittering and non-linear stepping was added. Evaluations of cloud edge details was also upgraded to minimize the amplification of noise when undersampling due to performance constraints. I think this is, this might be talking about when you're, you know, that problem that they had terribly with the clouds that they got rid of during CitizenCon 2023? Could probably find that real quick here. Whoops. I think you can see it particularly here. Yeah. So this is the noise I think that they're talking about, right? This God dang it. Amplification of noise on cloud edge details due to performance constraints, I do believe, is this noise that pops up at lower levels. They took care of this quite well for that patch. I think that was in 3.23. But still, you can pick it up when you're playing. So it looks like they're still trying to do some things to minimize that. These changes revealed potential GPU performance gains which will be investigated in May. YouTube chat seems broken, but Niku... YouTube chat seems broken. You guys not showing up? Oh, hey, come on. All right. Somebody shoot a message on YouTube. I will do it. Okay. We're good. I do not know why is the hospital calling me. Hold on a second, guys. Too late. They can leave a message. All right, we're good back on YouTube. Sorry about that. I don't know why that happened. So Niku confirmed we'll swap that suit into Twitch drops. This is indeed the Murray Cup racing gear used in the image. The Twitch drops reward will be the Tailwind version, which has a different look. Wonder how that got messed up. All right. Thanks for letting me know about the chat. Sorry about that, folks. Hopefully the next provider is a little better with the combined chat. All right. Tech art and animation. This is also pretty big for this month. Throughout April, the technical animation team continued to advance content across creatures, characters, armor, and the underlying pipeline. A major development was a scale of work towards new DNA heads currently underway. The team is simultaneously driving Gate 5 expression and polish passes on a large number of named characters across a broad range of identities and ethnicities that will populate the PU. Two named characters, Amir Lucas and Isaac Kepler, had targeted head rig feedback addressed and now have ready status. An additional number of heads was approved for submission. Head RC errors across the pipeline were resolved, and incorrect material IDs on two minor character head meshes were identified and fixed. Work on reducing rig logic memory overhead continues in the background. We're always working to reduce rig logic around here. Development of the super heavy combat suit materials progressed well. Blend space and animation support were validated and closed out. The Maya rig for the backpack is underway, and animation implementation and testing are in progress. The armor set will bring a new tier of combat physicality to the PU players. Support for importing motion warp points alongside animation files in Maya was delivered, which is useful for animators working on complex character interactions. Several RC errors affecting character and fish assets were resolved and approved for submission, keeping the asset pipeline clean. Gotta keep those f***ing fish in check. Across all areas, the team's output reflects continued momentum in Star Citizen's character and creature roster ahead of upcoming release milestones. I'm glad to hear that they're getting better at character art. I really hate how much a lot of people just kind of look similar. I did miss this line. Work on the Apex Sand Valacar continued with team rigging an entirely new mesh. I don't think we usually see updates with the Sand Valacar up here. We only saw the Juvenile Valacar. They are putting a lot of work into that one. I hope it's fun to fight. On the VFX side, VFX worked through major tasks for Alpha 4.8, such as vehicles, including the Drake Ironclad, tactical strike groups, and the Castak Arms plasma grenade, and the Ultiflex Novia crossbow. We also had some additional fire-related requests, which are always fun to do, the VFX team said, which includes something you have to shoot during the tactical strike groups thing. So, that's your monthly report. It's got some interesting bits in it. It's not the most exciting one this year so far, but still fairly good. Kind of a bummer too, because usually the ones that come out before Invictus are pretty exciting. They tend to quiet down a little bit over the summer at times, so we'll have to see what happens this summer. But with so much going on this year and so much planned for the rest of this year, I don't think we're going to get any boring monthly reports. So I'll be back with you for May's next month, and we'll talk about the goods. Again, if you want to join us for this live, usually we do it on Mondays. But lately, because they've been releasing them, just so much news, we've been doing them on Thursdays and Fridays. So come join us. Ooh. It's a lot of information. Thanks for sticking around for it, guys. Would have liked to hear more about Genesis. Yeah, I mean, they're being quite quiet about that. There's a few things that I would have liked to hear more about. Hacking is one of those things that they keep talking about being a thing. Scanning and sharing targets with other people would be a big one for me. FPS scanning, where the heck, what's going on with that? Zero-G push and pull, you know, that's the thing. Would have loved to hear a little bit more about social tools than just the fact that they're being worked on, but not much else I guess they have to say about that. We did hear about server meshing, which was good though. I'd like to hear about refining. There's quite a few things. One thing that has become clear with these monthly reports is they are not saying all of the stuff in them. Who knows if they ever were. I know it's a lot of work to get everything into them. But we know for sure things are getting worked on that aren't getting reported on here, so I don't know. Who knows what else is coming. Either way, let's jump into the ships, yeah? Because there's a lot of stuff going on in ships right now. With Invictus Week coming up next week, we have probably at least 6 ships coming out. And even past that, we have Alien Week, which brings some other stuff. And we're still getting more ship reveals. In fact, we've got another ship to add here. Hold on. We need to add the Tiburon into our ship releases list here. Where is the dang thing? Where's the Tiburon? I thought it was, no, is it later? Significantly later, yeah. No. Is that it? There we are. All right, I need a picture of this bad boy. Because he's also part of the show now. Oh, that's a much better picture. Much more descriptive. All right, so we've got the Pitbull, the M80, got the Ironclad Assault, Hammerhead Gold Standard, the Starlight refueling ship, the Odin concept, which is probably going to be like freaking $4,000. And the Aegis Tiburon is also there. This is what we know about. How the freaking heck? I bet there's going to be something else too. After that's done, we follow up with Alien Week, getting the Gattac Raylan and potentially another Gattac ship revealed or released. So let's look at what all this includes. We got a lot of updating to do on our ship tracking sheet this month. Oh boy, let's dive in. First up, in the UK, the ship's team progressed with the Drake Ironclad and Ironclad Assault. Both passed their Lot 0 review and moved into the final phase. The command module was also implemented, which can be seen in the PTU on the Caterpillar. So let's update our Ironclad and Assault. April. I think I'm going to start to clean these up a little bit, these descriptions a little more, because I've been putting notes here. I think what I might do is just go into the actual page and put them all here. It'd make more sense, right? In fact, I could just make a list for each thing that's been added here. Oops. Probably a little bit easier. I'll do this over time. We'll start to clean all these up so that we can... make everything a little easier to read. Here's a March and here's April. Okay. So the newest update was that it passed its Lot 0 review and moved into the final phase. We know this thing is coming out next month, so we're going to mark this as an imminent release. Absolutely, for sure, it's going to happen. We had it marked down as May 28th expected release, but it's actually coming earlier. It's probably going to be on the 14th, huh? It's actually going to be in the PTU next week. So we call that a 25th or 26th. And then the Ironclad Assault is in the same boat. Also going to be an absolute imminent release on the 26th. Tiburon looks great. All right, so did I do the... Yeah, the Drake command module is also here. We will include notes for this. Aye. Dang it. All right, I'm just going to have to... What was this final update? They said the command module was implemented. Basically, this one is already released. So let's go ahead and say that the command module is out. And it came out with the PTU this week. They're done. Well done, guys. Good job. Yeah, just the release. New ship release. All right. Oh, what do we have next? Progress continued on another DefenseCon ship. The MISC Starlight passed its Lot 0 review and had multiple playtests alongside revisions to its gameplay loop, ensuring it fits for purpose ahead of its final gate review. This is one of our unknowns. This is my least favorite part of this. We have to now figure out which of these unknowns this is. So we had several that were in the Lot 0 before. This is the Tiburon for sure. We have understood this. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that here. Luckily, we were pretty spot on, I think, with tracking this one the whole way through. And the release of this one is also going to be imminent. Not a variant. This is a new model. It's a new ship. Do I call this Laser Boy? We're going to call this Laser Boy. Expected release next week. Oh, it'd actually be Aegis Day, huh? I don't know what Aegis Day is. It's like the 20th, maybe? If Live is next week and DrakeCon is next week, why would the Iron Chad show released on the 25th? Wait, did I still have that? Oh yeah. I'm a week ahead. 2 weeks ahead. I'm at the 12th. Yeah, and this one I had at May 20th. But that makes sense. I was just off on the calendar. 20th is Aegis Day. Perfect. Continuing. Oh, the MISC Starlight. That's what we came here for. We got to figure out which one that was. Let's see. So this was a ship that was progressing quickly to the availability of its existing brand kit that does match MISC. Passed its white box review. Received tweaks to the layout before a gray box. Processed Lot 0. Team made some minor adjustments to the cockpit for a better view. For a better view. That does sound quite Starlight-like. That sounds very MISC-like. I think there's a good chance that this is our Starlight. But let's check out this one too. Move through white box with the team focus on its unique hero rooms. Hero rooms sounds like a bigger ship. The fourth upcoming ship at its white box review in January flagged some issues with its main gameplay not behaving as expected. Past gameplay following minor functionality requests from director. See, the problem with this is the biggest issue with tracking the unannounced ships is every single month, you don't know if unannounced ship A matches unannounced ship B from the previous report. Or I guess unannounced ship A from the previous report. You never know if it's the same unannounced ship, so you could just be adding random notes to all these different stuff. Kind of a bummer. Hello, welcome in, Emily, voice assistant. We've been looking for a voice assistant around here. That helps. So I don't know. It doesn't sound right with hero rooms. I think that the Starlight is too small for that, but it is a refueling ship. And it does have a main gameplay feature that could get flagged. Oh boy. That makes this a little bit more difficult to name. From a manufacturer that hasn't been worked on for a while, we know this is probably going to be the M80 from Origin. This is Tiburon. I think I want to go with this. I think we're going to go with the unannounced ship here being the Misk Starlight. And I'm going to hope that there's something else with hero rooms coming up soon. It is an imminent release. New model. Refueling. It's also small, so we'll call it a small refueler. No, just small. Expected to release on... I mean, they literally told us when it's releasing, right? The 18th. Monday. Last updated on May 6th. Cheers, y'all. You work well with SC. Voice attack. So you saw that hero room could be the refueling control. It could be. That's why I'm calling this one tough. But I'm gonna make the call and deal with it if I'm wrong. What about the Galaxy? Do we know when it's coming? IAE in November. And let me add this last note to the Starlight. And then we're going to call this one retired. So this is April. Starlight passed its Lot 0 review, had multiple playtests, and its final gate review. Good for you, buddy. Next ship. The Drake Pitbull has its final review scheduled for early May, with the team moving on to bug fixing, while further team members moved on to the Origin M80 to prepare it for the Lot 0 and final gate reviews in early May. All right. So we got a Drake Pitbull. This is going to be another one of these unannounced ships. Honestly, this could have been the one that was progressing due to its existing brand kit. Except this doesn't have an interior, does it? Minor adjustments to the cockpit. This definitely could be the Pitbull too. How about this? Move to Lot 0, unique hero rooms. We're not gonna, no, we're not going down that path. Followed a largely successful concept stage in January. February is approaching gray box. As mentioned in the last month's report, the fourth ship had its gray box review. Although this delayed the progress slightly, it will result in a much stronger end result. Who knows what the heck that ship is. This one says, last month saw its variants blocked out to ensure there are no surprises when they go into development at a later date. So whatever ship that is has variants. You guys feel like any of the ships we've seen for Invictus Week would have variants? No voice attack. Thought that was kind of the only way to go about it. NECA, thank you for the sub, dude. I appreciate you. 1 year out here supporting the stream. Much love, friend. I hope you're doing well. Sorry I missed you earlier. And Kamot. Kamot's got 44 months. It was supposed to be this. 44 months is actually a good thing. Thank you for the support, dude. I appreciate you. It might be another ship getting a Mark II pass. Nah. If it passed through White Box, it wouldn't be doing Mark II. Bulldog Medical. Wait, you just fly into the other ship with a cockpit full of medical pens and hope that that helps them? I don't... That's pretty funny. Hey, is my tea warm? I think I let my tea cool down for too long. It's been like an hour and a half. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't think it's going to be this one. With variants, I don't think... I mean, maybe the Origin ship, but I think the Origin ship's right here. This one says... Some of the team began laying groundwork for the second new vehicle. The UK team's final unannounced ship progressed through its white box review, turning out to be quite complex in terms of animations in the States. Guys, I bet you this is the mystery Gattac ship. I bet this is going to be whatever comes alongside the Raylan at Alien Week. We'll see. Definitely not the Starlight, though. Manufacturer that hasn't been worked on for a while and entered production. Yeah, so this is Origin. I'm just going to go ahead and call this one the M80. But we're not looking for the Starlight either. What are we? We're looking for... Jesus, I can't type. We're looking for the Pitbull. Guys, I do not know which one is going to be the Pitbull here. When is Origin Day? Let's see, this thing's coming on the 16th. Saturday. Interesting. Fully expecting it. Originally mentioned in January. The Starlight was also originally mentioned in January, unless the Starlight is one of these. Oh, I hate unannounced ships. CIG, just tell us all the names right away, all the time. I don't know. I don't think any of these match the Pitbull from what I'm reading. There are coasters that have a warming function that keep coffee and tea at a toasty temp. Yeah, I actually have a cup that came with one of those kinds of coasters, but I don't want cups because I spill everything. Tavaran ship would be cool, but they haven't really mentioned that. Okay, well, it's definitely not the North American team, so this is marked out. It's got to be one of these two. Or this one? No, this is probably the Gattac. In fact, I'm going to put in parentheses here, Gattac, just for later. But it's got to be one of these two. Successful concept art phase, or flagged for some issues with its main gameplay. This would definitely not be flagged for main game. I guess we're gonna have to go with this, dude. I really don't feel confident about this, though. And I think really this is just... I think this is just the conclusion of us putting notes down for unreleased ships that we don't know which ship they go to. There's probably several that are mixed in here. That's making it harder to figure out if it's actually the right ship. But this one's release is imminent. It's coming out next week as a light fighter, or is it a snub? It honestly looked like a snub. And they gave us the date for this one as well at May 14th, Thursday. So we've got a Thursday release. We got what is that? Saturday release. We've got a Monday release. We got another Wednesday release. And I'm guessing Thursday is also going to be the Ironclad. So we got a few Thursday releases. Yeah, it looks like a Fury competitor. What happened to the Stingray? Dude, we still got ships coming up. They're not all coming next week. Let's keep going. Further team members moved on to the Origin M80 to prepare for its Lot Zero and Final Gate reviews in early May. Let's go ahead and put that release down. That's going to be in this note section under April's update. I guess we could say that this thing is in its Lot Zero. But I mean, we already know it's going to be finished. An unannounced ship passed its Lot Zero review and is due to have its final review in early May. QA began testing, ships fixed assorted minor issues, and downstream teams finalized some of the bespoke VFX and SFX for the ship. You know what? Wait. Hold on, what do we have releasing? Is this the Tiburon? Because... No, Tiburon is North American. I think. Unannounced ship. Yeah, dude, they're not actually... They're not referencing the Tiburon here. They're still calling it an unannounced ship because this came out before this video. So it just confuses things a little bit more. So they move on. I say that because they move on from DefenseCon here. Everything past year is coming after. So this, I was going to say, might be that extra GATAC ship, but since they're talking about it before this sentence, I kind of feel like this might be another ship coming for DefenseCon. Right now we've got Pitbull, M80, Ironclads. These are spoken for. Starlight, spoken for. But the Tiburon and the Hammerhead aren't here. So this is very, very likely talking about the Tiburon. Unless we see that somewhere else, I'm going to put this in the Tiburon's update. Because it was... successfully passed its white box and gray box reviews in March. On track for its Lot Zero review shortly. So it was getting ready for its Lot Zero review going into April, and then it passed its Lot Zero review. I think that was saying. Yeah, passed its Lot Zero review and is due for its final review in early May. So that's probably the Tiburon that they're talking about there. What's up, nerds? How you doing, Clay? Home equity loans? Nonsense, dude. Just spaceships to buy. Or forgotten G12. CIG hates the G12. I'm pretty sure they have a dartboard in their office with a G12 on it. Anytime somebody curses, they have to throw a dart in there. Tiburon looks sick. We got it. We got it. It's on our board here. Laser Boy. All right. Now, beyond DefenseCon, the GATAC Raylan moved towards its gray box review. Dude. Oh man, they're really cutting it close with that one. With the team making sure all areas of the ship are brought to the same high standard. Dude, gray box in April? I don't understand how they think this is going to come out for Alien Week. They must be busting their ass on the GATAC and the Raylan this month. This is a complex ship. We've got it here. We know it's coming. But like this is arguably the most complicated ship they've ever made. Even more so, no, not more than the Hull series. I won't go that far, but it's up there. The animations that you need, the pure level of thought that they need to go through in order to make sure that this ship works.
Standard way. So the big stuff we've kept quite traditional because it makes sense. They're just there.
Like they want you to be able to move your components.
Stuff, it's kind of like a component delivery system. So you choose which component you want to access. It's delivered to you. You can change out whatever it is you need to choose, change.
Like, look at all the moving
Which isn't the standard
elevator,
elevator either.
the
At moment it's
doors.
at an angle, so you have a very different experience of like transitioning up through the floors.
The freaking
floors
computer
are also,
moves around.
transformed to sort of enable you to get through easily. So then when you're in the habitation section, you've got access to beds and lockers. You can go left and right to the turrets.
And then if that's not enough, the whole freaking outside
changes.
changes shape when you land.
So what does the railing add to Star Citizen as a whole? It really increases the diversity of spaceships, especially alien ones, because...
Ew, the Raylan's a diversity hire. So, I don't know how the heck this is going from gray box last month to fully released next month, but that... They did say it's coming for Alien Week. So we will put it in the notes and see what happens. It's wishful thinking in my opinion. But they're the ones with the work. They're the ones with the devs. They know what's going on. Oh, I messed this up. This is supposed to say March. Like, they don't really miss ship releases. I know I'm saying all this stuff, but if there's one thing that CIG is on time with, it's generally ships. So, they're gonna do it. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying it's a crazy schedule. All right, let's see. In January, progress through white box. Towards its blah, blah, blah. Past its white box in February. March, gate review. And in April, move to its gray box review with the team making sure all areas of the ship are brought up to the same high standard. Cool. And we're going to keep that for our expected release of the second week of June. Most recent update is going to be May 6th. And we're moving on. God, I love this song. Alien Week is I think starts like June 6th or so. Around there. You're super stoked to find out what role the unannounced GATAC ship's role is going to be. Any guesses? I'm always going to hope for a generalist ship. I'm real milk toast and vanilla like that. But first thing to bet with CIG is always a fighter. Some kind of combat ship, probably GATAC heavy fighter. Oh, we could go back to some of their earlier concepts for GATAC, and some of them do look quite aggressive, especially those ones that I like, the Gundam looking ones.
Came up with
these guys. That's definitely a fighter, right?
Strong candidates to give.
Maybe that's a minor. That would be a really fun minor, like just this monolithic drone of a looking minor.
To have a look at, and from there, people.
But these just look like defensive ships.
We'll see that very early on, it was almost locked.
God, this is like one of the coolest pieces of art I think I've seen from this game. I have no idea what it's going to be. GATAC lore-wise is supposed to be only industrial. I wonder if they developed that lore after this, because they changed around that stuff quite a bit. That's a good call out, though. I would love another industrial ship. Generalist is my go-to, though. A second unannounced ship continued through the white box with more devs joining the project to help block out the interior. Okay, that makes things easy. Which unannounced ship was in white box before? Oh, that's good. None of them. Time to add a new unannounced ship, folks. And do I even know? Do I even know if this is actually a new unannounced ship or if I just got the phases of one of these older ones wrong? That is the pain of trying to do this. But welcome. Got yourselves a chance to see a new entry start. First update in April. A second unannounced ship continued through the white box with more devs. Wouldn't even make sense, man. It would have to be something that started white box last month, but I don't really feel like going back and looking for that. Moving on, yet another unannounced ship passed its white box review, with ships working alongside mocap to build out and make amends to the in-game asset to suit the custom enter and exit animations. All right, I feel like that's our unannounced GATAC. Let's see. Last update we got on the unannounced GATAC was some of the team began laying the groundwork. Okay, so that means it wasn't even in white box. And in March, the UK team's final unannounced ship progressed through its white box review. Damn it. Past its white box review. Son of a bro. I'm just going to have to assume this is a new ship. It's weird. But I don't think I can match this up with anything else. Let's continue. In North America, the ship's team continued to move an unannounced vehicle towards its gray box. Stop it with the unannounced vehicle, CIG. We got yet another one, this time from North America. I want to say I've been tracking a North American gray box ship. Did we update this today? I don't think we updated this one today. No. Okay. This is the one that we have for the North American team. They said it progressed through its white box phase. Last month saw its variants blocked out to ensure there are no surprises when they go in development at a later date. Oh, we read this earlier. Passed its white box gate review in January, with the team talking feedback regarding some of the interactions with elements in the rear half. In March, an unannounced vehicle continued through the gray box phase. Minor adjustments were made to the flow to aid traversal in the rear half of the ship, and additional windows were added throughout. So North America must be working on something else, because they're literally saying that moving towards its gray box. Wait, in March moved through its gray box review. Oh, okay. Nope, this is the same ship. Cool. Pretty easy then to corroborate the North American team's work here. Toes. Whatever this is, it's got variants, and it just passed its gray box review. All right, so that's all January. That's all February. That's all March. And this is all April. So we got something coming from North America, and it sounds like it's fairly big. They're adding some windows into the rear of it. Taking quite a bit of feedback. It took 2 months to pass through its white box review. If it's just now in gray box, that means it's at about the same pace or the same place as the GATAC Raylan, but I'm betting it's going to come later. So this might be a fairly big ship. Vehicle makes you believe it's a ground-based vehicle? Could be. Whatever it is, it has variants. I do believe. Let's go ahead and update when this was most recently updated. And continue on. North American team also progressed with the Drake Kraken, having passed white box last month. The ship moved into gray box, with special attention being paid to ensuring the asset is as optimized as possible. They said, with a ship of this size, it's critical to ensure the time budget is being spent in the right places before it's too late. Dude, that is such a... Oh, that's such a a voice of reason for any project, really. It's so easy to get stuck on a project and spend a lot of time on the first 50% and then finish that and only have like 10% of the project time left. Let's get this updated in the Kraken section. Love it when they just name the ship. That makes it so easy. Mr. Kraken boy. Dude, we have so much to go through with this. There's so many notes on the Kraken. Let's go ahead and separate them out. into our list. All right. Continued pre-production. Pre-production continued through August. Entered White Box in September. Continued through White Box with the goal now set for its review in February. Continued through its White Box. First gate review set for mid-January. Had its White Box review rescheduled again for early March. Team also reviewed traversal throughput. Yada, yada, yada. The ship remains on track for planned release next year. In March, it finally passed its White Box. So get that timeline right there, folks. That's pretty wild. They got this into pre-production back in July of 2025. Continued in pre-production through August. Entered White Box in September with the plan on getting a White Box review, I guess, October or December-ish. Had to push the White Box review out to February. February came, had to push it out past that to March. March finally passed the White Box review. For what will be the largest player flyable ship on release, thus confirming that the Javelin's not coming before the Kraken. Team then concentrated on the hero rooms, yada yada, progressed with the... Okay. From here, this is all April. Some good updates on the Kraken. We're getting like a really good look into the production cycle of this ship. Most recent update on the 6th. I'm going to drop the expected release date because I think they'll probably do the same thing next year when they release it at Invictus. They'll probably try and release it earlier so they can keep the hype up. I'm going to put it at May 21st, 2027. Finally, the team began working on integrating some of the bridge station and man turret concept work that was highlighted in this month's... Oh, this is still for the Kraken. Okay, we'll continue. We'll keep that in there as well. And that's that. There are our ship updates. Actually, a lot of ships that are named that did not get updated here. And only 2 named ships. Well, I guess, and the this guy. And these 2. May 6th and May 6th. Okay. So we got these updated. Now we need to go back through and touch on the ships that have already been released. So the Miss Cole B has been released. We'll move it into the released section. Last update on it, I don't know. It's like the 10th or 17th or something like that, around here. And that one is all done. The Grey Cat UTV released around the same time. We'll put that at around there. The Aurora Mark II marked as released April 1st. Aegis Hammerhead. We're going to go ahead and put this one as released. This is the gold standard rework. And I'm going to say most recent update on that is from this monthly report. What else we got? We got the Moth released. Everything is released down here. Drake Clipper. Why is that not marked as released? Anything else? Anything else? Gattac Raylan. RSI Galaxy. Is there anything I'm missing, guys? There's not a lot of ships on this list anymore that are not released. Kruger Stingray I've got marked down here as still being in the concept phase. I'm not seeing... I guess we could say the Odin. Odin, who's making that? Anvil. Put that one as a low. I have no idea. It's in concept stage as far as I'm concerned. We'll get an update on it next week. This is really just here for now as a placeholder. But yeah, the list of unreleased ships is getting thinner. most of the ships that we're now getting are just unannounced ships that get brought into the game immediately. We're getting less and less of these kinds of, oh, here's a ship, you know about it, just wait for it to come out. So as we keep going, tracking these lists is going to become just less and less necessary. In fact, I wonder if I can filter, or like if I can group, the released. Let's see. Group by, ooh, because they all have different release dates, it would just group them all like this. Here's our next 30-day releases. And here's our no expected release. What I want is to I just want to have all the ones that are coming out soon. I guess this actually works out. It shows us the ships coming in the next 7 days and then the next 30 days. Either way, it's quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you consider the Ironclad a separate ship as well as the command module, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ships coming out in the next, what, 2 weeks? Maybe 3 weeks? By the end of this month? And then after that, you got 2 attack ships coming out? What the hell, CIG? Either way, there's your ship update. I hope you got it. I hope you learned something here. Please join us next month if you want to keep getting the news. Ooh. See you in the next one. Gingy Truckin', thank you for the bits, dude. Kraken was confirmed to gray box. Yes, I can update that. Mr. Kraken. I'm going to take the groups off for now. I think I was grouping it actually by whether they're announced or not. So let's go back to that. Drake Kraken. Move that up to the gray. Cool. I think I had that in there. You're interested in seeing the ship backlog at the end of this year? If you want to see the ship backlog, best place to go, in my opinion, is if you search for Colonial Movers on the Googs. He tracks this stuff pretty regularly. He makes a post just about every update and has been for years. And he actually gives some pretty good details. He's got 83% of all ships have been delivered. He shows how many concepts we still need to do. Gives a sense of how many of each category still needs to go. So we got all the snubs, most of the small ships, most of the medium ships. And honestly, we're getting pretty close on the large ships. It's mainly the capital ships that are now holding us up. This is pretty good, though. This usually is very helpful, in my opinion, in visualizing just how much work they have to do. I don't think anymore of the big challenge is getting all the ships delivered. That came and went, I think, much faster than most people were anticipating a couple of years back. Now, I think the main challenge is keeping them up to date with the features that are going to be coming in over the next couple of years. We'll see how they do there. Whatever happened to the escort carrier? The Liberator? It's in pre-production. You think it's going to be a Shiv variant? That would be interesting. All right, my friends. Nikon, thank you so much for the Prime sub on Twitch. I appreciate you, brother. I just had the plan to get on here real quick today. Come and talk to you guys about what news is going on. Monthly report came out. Ships are going on, so I wanted to not make you wait for another day, but I'm all done. I'm going to get some filming done. We got a little video we're working on, something special. I'm making a video that basically covers putting together this desk. I've never done a video like that, but hopefully people will be interested. I'll be back on Friday, though, to hang out with y'all, these special people, shiny folks. You, I don't even know. I don't know how I don't have any other words to call you. I don't even think I just said words. I'm going to send you over to HC Vertigo, though, to go do some chatting, some talking, and some hanging out. I appreciate you guys. There have been people going through the ship and measuring everything from the weapons. The front ones are definitely looking bigger than the back ones. Oh, on the 890 or the M80. You went all black on your desk? A little stealthy? Nice, dude. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Love you. Hope you have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Do something you love. Eat something you love. Hanging out with somebody you love. You're a star. Treat yourselves like it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day.